You know what's vanishing from stores right now? Not next year, not in a collapse, this week in your local Walmart. I've been prepping since 2014, and the biggest mistake I see? Preppers wasting cash on flashy gear while ignoring the boring basics that actually matter. Here's the truth. 2026 is bringing silent shortages, droughts, tariffs, supply chain cracks, and if you're not buying these 13 items in bulk, you're leaving your family exposed. Number 7 isn't food, isn't medicine. It's something 95% of preppers completely ignore. But in a real crisis, it could keep you alive or get you traded for. Stick around. You'll never look at bulk buying the same way again. Look, I get it. After 2020, everyone thinks they're ready. But real preparedness isn't about looking tactical. It's about thinking ahead. Last year, I tracked every grocery receipt, every price hike, every out-of-stock sign. The result? Core staples jumped 19% on average, but the hidden essentials, some doubled overnight. And 2026 is worse. India's restricting rice exports again. The Panama Canal's still clogged. Droughts killing Midwest crops. Yet most preppers keep buying the same 10 things: rice, beans, toilet paper. They're missing the gaps that actually break people. Nutritional holes, medical blind spots, barter weaknesses. So I did the research, scoured USDA reports, survival forums, wholesale data, talked to ranchers, thrift store owners, water experts, and I found 13 overlooked items, every single one cheaper in bulk, every one with a shelf life of 5+ years, every one multi-use in a crisis. By switching just these 13 into my rotation, I saved over $2,200 in the last 12 months. That's real money for real security, not fear, not fantasy. This is practical readiness for the world we're actually living in. So let's dive in. And trust me, when we hit number 7, you'll pause this video and go order it right now. 1. Baking soda. Forget cookies. Forget fridge deodorizers. This humble white powder is one of the most versatile survival tools you can stock, and it costs pennies per ounce when bought right. Baking soda isn't just a kitchen staple, it's a multi-system lifeline in any extended crisis. Need to purify questionable water? A ½ teaspoon per gallon neutralizes chlorine, heavy metals, and acidic contaminants. Suffering from heartburn, acid reflux, or gut distress during stress-induced eating? It's a fast-acting antacid, no pharmacy required. Got a grease fire in your off-grid kitchen? Smother it instantly with a handful, no extinguisher needed. And it gets better. Use it as a gentle abrasive cleaner for cookware, a teeth cleaning powder when toothpaste runs out, or even a deodorizing foot soak during multi-day evacuations. During the 2023 East Palestine chemical spill, families who had bulk baking soda were able to neutralize airborne toxins in their homes and wash contaminated skin, while others waited days for official aid. Buy it right. A 25-pound food-grade bucket costs just $18 from wholesale suppliers like Azure Standard or Walmart's online bulk section. The same amount in retail boxes? Over $120. A 560% markup for the same molecule. Store it in an airtight container in a cool, dry place, and it never expires. It takes up less space than a shoebox, but delivers hundreds of critical functions. If you're serious about practical preparedness, not just looking the part, stock at least 25 pounds. For less than $20, you gain water treatment, medical relief, fire control, hygiene, and barter value. This isn't optional. It's essential. Stock it. Now. 2. 99% isopropyl alcohol. Forget the drugstore 70%. That's diluted for profit, not performance. You need 99% isopropyl alcohol, the pure medical-grade version that works when it matters most. This isn't just for cleaning a scraped knee. It's your triple threat survival liquid: disinfectant, fuel, and electronics lifeline. Use it to sterilize water filters clogged with sediment, wipe down critical gear, radios, solar chargers, medical tools, without damaging circuits. Soak bandages for antiseptic dressings when antibiotics run low. And when the power's out for weeks, it burns clean in alcohol stoves, boiling water with zero smoke or scent, critical in urban or high-risk environments. In 2024, hospital supply chains fractured again. Pharmacies rationed alcohol wipes. Smart preppers who'd stocked gallons stayed self-reliant. A gallon jug from lab or janitorial suppliers costs just $10 to $12. The same volume in 16-ounce drugstore bottles? Over $40, a 300% markup for the exact same chemical. Storage is simple. Keep it in amber HDPE containers, away from heat and sunlight. Sealed properly, it remains potent for 10 plus years. No degradation, no expiration, just ready. And here's the edge most miss. Mix 50-50 with distilled water, add a drop of glycerin, and you've got hospital-grade hand sanitizer that actually kills pathogens, not just the fragranced sludge sold in stores. 3. Bar soap. Plain, unscented, glycerin-based. Not liquid, not moisturizing, not wrapped in plastic. You need hard, white, glycerin bar soap, the kind restaurants and hospitals buy by the case. Why? Because liquid soaps fail. They freeze in winter, separate in heat, and grow bacteria once opened. Bar soap? It lasts decades, weighs almost nothing, and needs zero packaging. Drop it in water for days, it still lathers. Leave it in a damp kit for years. It hardens, but works. During the 2024 Vermont floods, families with bar soap stayed clean, while others ran out of hand wash in 72 hours. Hygiene isn't luxury, it's infection prevention. No soap means open wounds turn septic. Dirty hands spread disease faster than any virus. Buy it right. A case of 96 bars from wholesale suppliers like Gordon Food Service or Webstaurant Store costs $32 to $38. That's under 40 cents per bar. The same brand at Target or Walmart, $2.50 each. A 500% markup for identical product. And here's the barter secret. In long-term disruptions, soap becomes currency. After Hurricane Maria, people traded coffee, ammo, even insulin for hygiene. It's universally needed, non-perishable, and instantly valuable. Store bars in a cool, dry bin. Stack them like bricks. A year's supply for a family of 4 takes less space than a shoebox. This isn't about smelling fresh. It's about staying healthy when clinics are closed, water is scarce, and every cut could kill. Don't overthink it. Don't buy fancy. Buy bulk. Buy plain. Buy now. 4. Unused canning lids. Brand new, never opened. This is the silent crisis no one sees coming. Since 2023, canning lid shortages have crippled home food preservation across North America. Rubber gasket shortages, supply chain delays, and surging demand have made them vanish every summer, right when gardens peak and bulk food deals hit. I learned this the hard way in August 2024. Stood in line at 3 stores, empty shelves everywhere, paid $12 for a 6-pack on Facebook Marketplace, triple retail, all because I waited. Here's the truth. Canning lids degrade. Even unused, their rubber seals dry out after 5 to 7 years. Once brittle, they fail to seal, turning your precious home-canned tomatoes, beans, or peaches into moldy waste, or worse, botulism risks. So you must buy them now while they're available, and in bulk. A flat of 144 new lids costs $25 to $28 from Amazon Warehouse, Lehman's, or Azure Standard. That's less than 20 cents per lid. The same pack during shortage panic, $60. But storage matters. Never keep lids in hot garages or damp basements. Heat and humidity accelerate seal decay. Store them in airtight bins in a cool, dark closet, ideally below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Label the purchase date. Rotate every 5 years. And don't trust reusable silicone lids for long-term storage. They're great for fridge use, but only metal lids with proper vacuum seals guarantee shelf-stable, safe preservation for years. This isn't just about convenience. It's food sovereignty. When grocery prices spike or shelves empty, Your ability to preserve bulk buys, like $25 for 50 pounds of green beans, depends entirely on having lids ready. Without them, your entire food storage strategy collapses. With them, you lock in nutrition, flavor, and security for under a nickel a jar. So check your stash. If your lids are older than 2020, replace them. If you have fewer than 100, order more, because next summer, they might not be there. Buy lids now. Preserve your future. 5. Hard red winter wheat berries. Not soft wheat, not generic wheat. You need hard red winter, the drought-resistant, high-protein strain that thrives when other grains fail. With the 2025 U.S. Drought Monitor showing extreme conditions across Kansas, Nebraska, and the Dakotas, soft wheat yields have plummeted, dropping 30% in key breadbasket counties. But hard red winter? Bred for harsh winters and low rainfall. It's your 2026 insurance policy. Buy it in 50-pound bags for $30 to $35 from Azure Standard, Wheat Montana, or local co-ops. That's 60 to 70 cents per pound, less than half the cost of store-bought flour. And unlike flour, which turns rancid in 6 to 12 months due to oxidized fats, wheat berries last 25 to 30 years when stored properly in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. Grind them fresh for nutrient-dense bread. Cook them whole like rice for a hearty porridge. Sprout them in a jar for fresh greens in winter, packed with vitamin C when your stockpile runs low. Even pop them in a dry skillet for a nutty, crunchy snack. Yes, it works. After the 2012 drought, preppers who'd stocked hard red wheat ate well, while others scrambled for $8 a pound bread. Today, with fertilizer costs up 40% and rail freight delays worsening, grain independence is non-negotiable. But you'll need a grain mill. Skip electric-only models. Get a dual hand crank/electric mill, like the Mock Mill or Wonder Mill. The manual option ensures you can grind flour during extended outages. One 50-pound bag yields about 42 pounds of flour, enough for 80-plus loaves. At $4 per store-bought loaf, that's over $300 in value from a $35 bag. This isn't just food. It's calories, protein, fiber, and self-reliance in one dense, compact package. Don't wait for the next export ban or price spike. Buy hard red winter wheat berries now. Store them right, and feed your family, today, tomorrow, and decades from now. 6. Dried seaweed, kombu, and nori. This isn't sushi garnish. It's your iodine lifeline, and most preppers are dangerously deficient without even knowing it. Rice, beans, wheat, pasta, your core bulk staples, contain 0 iodine. Go months on that diet and your thyroid slows, energy crashes, immunity drops, depression sets in. In extreme cases, goiter swells your neck, a condition thought extinct but quietly returning in food-insecure communities after the 2024-2025 supply shocks. Dried seaweed solves it. Just one sheet of nori delivers 100% of your daily iodine. A 1-inch piece of kombu in your bean pot adds minerals, reduces gas, and enriches broth with trace nutrients missing from stored foods. Buy it in bulk. A 1-pound bag of kombu costs $14 to $18 on Azure Standard or Mountain Rose herbs. Nori sheets, $20 for 100 sheets, less than 20 cents each. Store in airtight glass jars, away from light, and it lasts indefinitely. No refrigeration, no spoilage. During the 2025 Pacific typhoon season, coastal preppers who'd stocked seaweed avoided thyroid issues, while aid-dependent neighbors developed fatigue, hair loss, and cognitive fog, classic signs of deficiency. And it's not just iodine. Seaweed contains selenium, magnesium, iron, and omega-3s, nutrients stripped from processed and long-stored foods. Add powdered kelp to soups, stews, or even your morning oatmeal for a silent nutritional boost. Don't waste money on iodine pills that expire in 2 to 3 years. Nature's version lasts forever and integrates seamlessly into daily meals. This is the hidden gap in 99% of food stockpiles. You can have 10 years of calories, but without iodine, your body slowly shuts down. So treat seaweed like medicine, because it is. Buy kombu, buy nori. Store it dark and dry. One small bag protects your family's metabolism, brain function, and long-term health for pennies a day. Don't wait for symptoms to appear. Prevent them now. 7. Waxed nylon dental floss. Forget mint flavor. Skip the shred-resistant gimmicks. You need basic waxed nylon dental floss, the kind sold in plain white spools at drugstores or wholesale clubs. Why? Because in a real crisis, this thin thread becomes one of your most versatile survival tools, and it's vanishing fast. In 2024, major manufacturers like Oral-B slashed floss production due to global nylon resin shortages. What's left is marked up 300% on resale sites or gone entirely during panic events. But smart preppers know floss is ultra-strong cordage. One spool holds 55 yards of 30-plus pound tensile strength line, stronger than paracord by diameter, lighter than thread, and waterproof thanks to the wax coating. Use it to suture deep wounds when medical tape fails. Tie emergency splints. Sew torn gear. Set small animal snares. Fish in streams with a bent pin hook. Even start fires by bow drill friction. Waxed floss grips wood like sinew. After Hurricane Helene in 2024, preppers in Appalachia traded floss for coffee, batteries, and antibiotics. Why? Because everyone needs it, few stock it, and it weighs nothing. A 12-pack costs $8 in bulk. During shortages, $25 plus. Store spools in a dry, sealed container. Heat and humidity degrade nylon over time. Keep some in your EDC kit, your car, your bug-out bag. This isn't about clean teeth. It's about having reliable, multi-use fiber when supply chains break. Paracord is bulky. Fishing line snaps. But floss fits in your pocket, lasts decades, solves a dozen problems. And here's the kicker. It's socially invisible. No one raids your medicine cabinet for floss until it's the only line left. So buy a dozen spools, then 100. Stack them beside your medical supplies. Because when the grid fails and your jacket rips, you won't wish you had more ammo. You'll wish you had more floss. Stock it. Now. 8. Heavy-duty aluminum foil. Restaurant grade. Not the flimsy 12-inch rolls from the grocery store. You need 18-inch wide, 1.2 mil thick restaurant grade foil, sold by the 500 or 1,000 foot roll. This isn't for wrapping leftovers. It's a multi-roll survival material that outperforms in ways most never consider. First, emergency cooking. Line a cardboard box with foil, add coals, and you've got a solar oven that reaches 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Wrap food directly for clean, no-mess campfire baking. No pans needed. Second, water collection. Shape it into a funnel or trough to channel rain into your containers. Its impermeable surface prevents contamination and evaporation. Third, EMP and signal protection. Wrap your spare radios, flashlights, or USB drives in 3 layers of foil to create a Faraday cage that blocks electromagnetic pulses. Fourth, thermal regulation. Tape foil to windows to reflect heat in summer. Line sleeping pads in winter to bounce body heat back, a trick used by homeless survivalists during the 2024 Midwest deep freeze. And yes, signaling. Polish a sheet with cloth and it becomes a high visibility mirror visible for miles. Buy it right. A 5-pound roll, 1,000 feet, costs $42 to $48 from Webstaurant Store or Restaurant Depot. The same footage in retail boxes, over $120, a 200% markup for weaker, narrower foil. Foil never expires. It won't rust, rot, or degrade. Store it upright in a dry corner. It takes less space than a folded sleeping bag. After the 2024 Texas grid collapse, families used foil-lined tents to retain heat when natural gas failed. Others distilled water using foil stills. This is ultra-dense prep. One roll replaces cooking gear, signal kits, shielding, and water tools. Don't underestimate the power of thin metal. In a world of plastic and scarcity, aluminum foil is silent strength. Buy the roll, not the box. Stock it now. 9. Sublingual methylcobalamin, vitamin B12. Not the cheap cyanocobalamin pills at the drugstore. You need methylcobalamin, the active, body-ready form of B12 that actually works when your system is stressed, depleted, or running on stored grains. Here's the danger most miss. Long-term diets heavy in rice, beans, and wheat block B12 absorption. Without it, nerve damage begins silently. Tingling hands, memory fog, fatigue, depression. In severe cases, permanent neurological damage sets in within months. After the 2023 Canadian rail strikes, isolated families relying on bulk staples developed B12 deficiency so severe, clinics reported misdiagnosed mystery illnesses that resolved only with high-dose supplementation. Methylcobalamin bypasses digestion. Place it under your tongue, and it absorbs directly into your bloodstream. Critical when gut health is compromised by stress, poor diet, or contaminated water. Buy it in bulk. A bottle of 360 sublingual lozenges, 5,000 micrograms each, costs $22 to $25 on iHerb or Swanson during sales. That's a 2-year supply for one person, less than 3 cents per dose. Store it in the fridge or a cool, dark drawer, and it stays potent for 3+ years past expiration. Don't wait for symptoms. By the time you feel off, damage may already be underway. B12 isn't optional. It's neurological insurance. And here's the kicker. Unlike food sources, meat, eggs, dairy, which spoil or vanish in supply shocks, B12 supplements are shelf-stable, compact, and irreplaceable. You can't grow it. You can't hunt it. You can only plan for it. Pair it with your multivitamin, but never rely on multis alone. They often contain ineffective cyanocobalamin and subtherapeutic doses. This isn't wellness. It's crisis-level health defense. So audit your supplement stash. If you don't have methylcobalamin, order it today. If you do, double your stock. Because in a long-term disruption, your mind and nerves are your greatest assets. Protect them now. 10. Sodium ascorbate, non-acidic vitamin C. Forget ascorbic acid. That sharp, stomach-churning powder burns your gut, especially on an empty, stress-ravaged diet of stored grains and beans. You need sodium ascorbate, the buffered, gentle, highly absorbable form of vitamin C that prevents scurvy without triggering nausea, ulcers, or diarrhea. Scurvy isn't history. In 2025, public health reports confirmed dozens of cases in food-insecure U.S. communities relying solely on shelf-stable carbs, no fresh produce for months. Symptoms? Bleeding gums, slow-healing wounds, joint pain, fatigue so deep people couldn't work. All reversible with consistent vitamin C. Sodium ascorbate delivers bioavailable C with zero acidity. Mix a 1/4 teaspoon in water. It dissolves instantly, tastes mild, and absorbs fast. It also acts as a powerful antioxidant, boosting immunity during flu season or waterborne illness outbreaks. Buy it in bulk. A 1-pound bag costs $20 to $24 from Bulk Supplements or Now Foods. That's over 450 servings, less than 5 cents per dose. Store it in an airtight glass jar in a cool, dark place, and it remains effective for 3 to 5 years. Compare that to expensive immune boost gummies that expire in 12 months and contain 50 milligrams of sugar per dose. Or citrus, rotting in days, unavailable in winter, impossible to store. During the 2024 Midwest floods, families with sodium ascorbate avoided respiratory infections that swept through shelters. Why? Their immune systems had the raw material to fight back. This isn't supplementation, it's nutritional armor. And don't forget, vitamin C enhances iron absorption, critical when your diet lacks red meat. Pair it with your beans or wheat porridge, and you unlock more nutrition from every bite. So skip the flashy bottles. Ignore the natural orange flavor markup. Buy pure sodium ascorbate in bulk. Because when fresh food disappears, and it will, your body won't care about taste. It'll care about survival. Stock your C, prevent scurvy, live strong. 11. Cast iron cookware. Bought in bulk, used, seasoned. This isn't about aesthetics. It's about permanent, fuel-agnostic cooking capability, and you don't need to pay retail. The smart move? Buy pre-seasoned cast iron skillets, Dutch ovens, and griddles secondhand from estate sales, thrift stores, Facebook Marketplace, or farm auctions. I picked up 3 pieces last fall for $60 total. A 10-inch skillet, a 5-quart Dutch oven, and a griddle. New? Over $300. Why bulk? Because cast iron lasts generations, works over open fire, propane, induction, or wood stoves, and leaches dietary iron into your food, critical when your diet lacks red meat. Unlike nonstick pans, which degrade at high heat, or stainless steel, which requires oil and even heat, cast iron thrives in chaos. After the 2024 grid failure in the Pacific Northwest, families with cast iron cooked hot meals for weeks. Others ate cold beans from cans. One Dutch oven can boil water, bake bread, fry fish, and simmer stew. No electricity, no problem. Maintenance is simple. Never use soap. Clean with hot water and a stiff brush. Dry immediately. Rub with a thin layer of oil. Store in a dry place. If rust appears, scrub with vinegar, re-season with flaxseed oil, and it's good as new. And here's the urban prepper edge. Cast iron is dense, not bulky. One skillet replaces pots, pans, baking sheets, and grills. Stack them. Store them. They take less space than a microwave. Don't wait for supply shortages. Thrift stores are clearing old inventory. Estate sales are full of heirloom pieces. Grab them while you can. And grab more than one. Because in a real crisis, your ability to turn stored wheat into hot bread or dried beans into a nourishing stew depends on one thing, a pan that won't quit. Buy cast iron now. Season it. Use it. Pass it down. 12. Ferrocerium rods. Fire steel. Forget lighters. Forget matches. You need ferrocerium rods. The spark-producing alloy that works when everything else fails. One rod delivers over 10,000 strikes, even when soaked, frozen, or buried in ash. Lighters leak. Matches disintegrate. But ferro rods? Indestructible. Weatherproof. Reliable. During the 2024 Montana wildfire evacuations, preppers with ferro rods boiled water, cooked meals, and stayed warm while others shivered in the smoke. Lighters useless in high winds, matches damp from sweat and rain. Each strike throws sparks at 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to ignite tinder, char cloth, or even damp bark. Pair it with cotton balls soaked in petroleum jelly or dry birch bark, and you've got fire in under 30 seconds. Anywhere, anytime. Buy in bulk. A 10-pack of 2-inch rods costs $15 to $18 from survival wholesalers like firesteel.com or Amazon. That's less than $2 per lifetime fire starter. Retail tactical versions with fancy. Handles? $12 each. Same rod, triple the markup. Store rods in your pocket, your glove box, your bug-out bag, your kitchen drawer. They weigh ounces, take no space, never expire. And here's the pro tip. Use the spine of a fixed blade knife or a dedicated scraper to strike the rod, not a flimsy multi-tool. Angle it at 45 degrees, scrape fast, and let sparks rain onto your tinder nest. This isn't bushcraft, it's basic human resilience. Fire means warmth, light, purified water, cooked food, morale. In prolonged outages, fire is civilization in your hands. Don't trust your survival to a flame that flickers out. Trust it to a spark that never dies. So buy a pack, then buy two. Give one to your spouse, one to your teen. Tape one to your water filter. Because when the world goes dark, fire won't be a luxury. It'll be your lifeline. Stock ferro rods now. Strike with confidence. 13. Food-grade diatomaceous earth. This isn't pool filter powder. You need food-grade diatomaceous earth, DE, a fine white powder made from fossilized algae, safe for humans and animals, and shockingly versatile in a crisis. First, grain and legume preservation. Mix 1 to 2 tablespoons per 5-gallon bucket of wheat, rice, or beans. DE dehydrates weevils, moths, and larvae on contact. No chemicals, no oxygen absorbers needed. Unlike bay leaves or dry ice, it works indefinitely and doesn't lose potency. Second, water filtration. In emergencies, DE can be layered in a sand filter to trap bacteria, protozoa, and fine particulates, clarifying muddy or contaminated water before boiling or chemical treatment. After the 2025 Mississippi River floods, off-grid families used DE sand filters to make river water visibly clear within minutes. Third, parasite control. Taken internally, 1 teaspoon daily in water, food-grade DE gently scrubs the digestive tract, helping eliminate intestinal worms, a real risk if your water or stored food is compromised. Livestock owners have used it for decades. Now it's a silent guardian for human health. Fourth, non-toxic pest control. Dust it along baseboards to kill ants, roaches, and bedbugs without poisons that threaten kids or pets. Buy it right. A 5-pound bag of food-grade DE costs $14 to $18 from Azure Standard, Tractor Supply, or Gardener's Supply Company. Store it in an airtight bucket and it never expires, as long as it stays dry. This isn't natural living. It's practical, ancient technology used by homesteaders, farmers, and survivalists for over a century. And here's the kicker: no one stocks it. While preppers hoard rice and bleach, DE sits ignored, yet it solves problems no other item can. So add it to your pantry. Dust your grains, filter your water, protect your gut. Because in a long-term disruption, the smallest powder can deliver the biggest peace of mind. Buy food-grade DE now. Store it dry. Use it wisely. The real secret: it's not what you buy, it's how you store it. Bulk buying only works if your storage system matches the threat. I learned this the hard way in 2018 when my basement flooded. Lost $500 in rice, beans, and wheat, all stored directly on the floor in paper bags. Never again. Now everything follows a 3-tier rotation. Tier 1, working pantry, what we use weekly. Tier 2, backup stock, refills Tier 1. Tier 3, long-term reserves, sealed, labeled, elevated. Every item flows forward, from deep storage to daily use, so nothing expires, nothing wastes. But storage isn't just rotation, it's environment. Temperature is everything. For every 10 degrees Fahrenheit increase, shelf life halves. Food stored at 70 degrees Fahrenheit lasts half as long as at 60 degrees Fahrenheit. If you don't have a basement, use the coolest interior closet. In hot climates, insulate a storage room and run a small dehumidifier, far cheaper than replacing spoiled food. Containers matter. Food-grade buckets with Gamma Seal lids let you open and reseal without breaking the seal. Mylar bags plus oxygen absorbers block light, moisture, and oxygen, turning 2-year pasta into 20-year pasta. A Gamma lid costs $12. A Mylar bag, $1. An oxygen absorber, 50 cents. That's $13.50 to protect $100 of food. And never store all your preps in one place. After the flood, I split supplies across 3 elevated, waterproof locations: garage shelves, upstairs closet, under bed bins. If one zone fails, you're not wiped out. Finally, track prices like your security depends on it, because it does. I keep a simple spreadsheet: regular price, sale price, buy threshold. When pasta hits 50 cents a pound every 10 to 12 weeks, I buy 6 months worth. That's strategic purchasing, not hoarding. This system turns bulk buys into lasting assets, not clutter. It's what separates real preparedness from panic shopping. So don't just stockpile, store smart, rotate fast, protect deep, because your best preps are useless if they rot before you need them. Let's be clear. The emergencies we're facing in 2026 aren't zombies or nukes. They're job loss, medical debt, supply chain breakdowns, climate-driven outages. And the difference between panic and peace? What you bought when times were still calm. I lost my job in 2015. 6 months of bulk-stocked food, bought on sale, stored right, kept my family fed, stable, and debt-free while I rebuilt. That wasn't luck. It was deliberate, boring, bulk buying. These 13 items aren't glamorous, but they're real. They save money today, they protect health tomorrow, and in a true crisis, they become barter gold, medical aid, and lifelines. Prepping isn't about fear. It's about freedom. Freedom from price gouging, freedom from empty shelves, freedom to care for your family no matter what the world throws at you. So here's your move. Pick 2 items from this list. Just 2. Research the best bulk price in your area. Order them this week, not next month, not when you have space. Start small. Stack smart. Build real resilience. If this opened your eyes, hit like. It tells YouTube this message matters. Subscribe so you don't miss our next video on 2026's hidden shortages. And comment below. I'm stocking #first. Let's build a community that's not just prepared, but practically ready. This is David of All Trades. Remember, being prepared isn't paranoia. It's practical wisdom in an unpredictable world. Stay safe, stay smart, and keep stacking those supplies. I'll see you in the next one.